Hey everybody, Mr. A here to talk to you about providing meaningful feedback in Google Classroom. We know that feedback is powerful. We of course understand that grading is feedback, but that feedback is more than just grading. We also know that we want to keep feedback immediate and ongoing. We want to make sure that it's actionable so that students can take that feedback and put it into place to make something better. That it's two-way, so there should be dialogue, and that it's powerful. And today what we want to do is talk about 3 specific ways within Google Classroom and the Google Suite for you to be able to engage in that powerful feedback. One is by using what's known as the suggestion mode. The second is by using the commenting feature, including the @ symbol and comment bank. And the third is by using Google Classroom rubrics. Let's start with the suggestion mode. So the suggestion mode enables you or a student, let's say you had students do peer review or peer editing, to mark up a paper. Then the markups and changes appear as suggestions on the paper, and it is up to the author, the owner of the paper, in this case the student, to either check and approve or X and reject those suggestions. So it's a way in which you can provide feedback, but also enable the user and the author to have ultimate choice about what stays and what doesn't. So in a student paper, if you look at it and you're going through and they're making changes, you can highlight the area that you want to change in the suggestion mode, and then you might delete that particular portion. You might add your own words, make some suggestions again within the text, but ultimately it's up to the user then to either check to agree or X to reject that particular suggestion. Another way you can provide feedback in Google Classroom is through commenting. To do that, you highlight the text and you can just add a comment by typing it. You can use the @ symbol and then assign that task, and we'll also send an email to the person whom the task is assigned to, which might be particularly helpful if students are either cooperating on a project together and you want to have either a group member pick up a particular part of a task or have the students suggest that to another member within their group. You can create a comment bank if you find yourself writing the same things over and over and over again, and then you can use the hashtag or the number symbol and start to type the comment to find it and insert it without having to rewrite the whole thing. So let me show you a couple of that things. So this is starting here with the @ feature. So if I type @ and I start to type the person's name, their name shows up. I can give them a specific comment and then assign it to them. You can just highlight the text and type in your own words. You can highlight the text, add a comment, and go to your comment bank so you can build that up over time. You can see it's going to come up right here. I got these from an ELA teacher in their building. Or again, you can do that @ symbol, which I suggested just a moment ago. Another really powerful way to provide feedback is the rubrics portion of Google Classroom. You can create rubrics for any assignments that you have within there. You can use it to score and provide feedback. You can then reuse that rubric on future assignments, and you also can share your rubrics with colleagues. So right here, I have an assignment from previous point, and you can see it's about the plastics problem. You can see as I'm scrolling through here pretty quickly, there are different categories or criteria. So the audio, in this case of the podcast, the research slides, and then there are different criterion within that, so exceptional, proficient, and emerging, and then there are descriptors within there. So you can lay that all out for each one of your assignments, and once you have one that you like, you can copy it, reuse it in a subsequent assignment, but then just tweak it or adjust it slightly to that different project. The rubric is there so students can review it to see how they'll be assessed. They can use it to assess themselves to be sure that, again, it is in fact their best works and meet the criteria. And you as the teacher then can use it to actually assess student work. So over here in the margin, you can see if you click on that particular region, it corresponds to one of those descriptors. So the research slides were exceptional, the podcast audio exceptional, and you can see it's also totaling it up at the top. So it keeps an ongoing running count, and you can add private comments too that only the students see. So built right within there, the rubrics feature, very powerful within Google Classroom. So this PDF5 is just giving you a little bit of a taste. You're definitely going to want to check out the official Google resources, including the suggest edits, the giving feedback in Google Classroom, the creating and reusing rubrics in Classroom, and they have a whole video series called EDU in 90, which gives you lots of information. This particular link happens to be about feedback in Google Classroom. These and other EdTech tools, learning strategies, and more can be found on itsmra.com. And for a quick look at meaningful feedback in Google Classroom, I'm Mr. A.